Haven't already. No flash photography is permitted during the press conference, and also no recording of the press conference is permitted. And then as they enter here, the Marquette locker room will be open for the next 30 minutes as well. If we could close that door in the back then, please. Thank you. All right, first up today is Marquette Golden Eagles, joined by head coach Megan Duffy and student athletes Chloe Murata and Jordan King. Coach, if you would, please make an opening statement.
Well, for the first game of Friday, it was obviously absolutely exciting. Give South Florida a lot of credit. I thought they made a great run in that fourth quarter to cut our lead and just made a few more plays down the stretch. Can't tell you how proud I am of my team, what they gave this afternoon, their fight, their heart out there, and just came up a few possessions short.
Open up for questions just for the student athletes first, if you would, and raise your hand. We'll get a field mic to you. Go ahead.
Chloe, your family drove 13 hours here today. What does that mean to you?
My family's always going to show up, so it's nice. Obviously, tough little trip to get to this part of the states or the country. So, happy that they were able to make it.
Go ahead.
Your career now at Marquette is over. Just overall thoughts on your time as a Golden Eagle, the 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think I could really say it all right now. I think there's way too much to even put into words, but. Obviously, I'm so thankful for this experience, for Coach Duffy, for all my teammates. It's been an amazing 5 years, and I obviously wouldn't ask for anything else.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so early on in the first quarter, you guys jumped out. I think it was a quick 8 points for Emily LaChapelle. So, Jordan, looking at your other two first-year guards, Kenzie Hare and Emily LaChapelle, how do you think they played today the first time on the big stage?
Yeah, I think this was obviously an amazing experience for them. We kind of talked to them all week about, this is your first time going, go out there, play your hardest, do what you've done all season. And it was really great to see them step up at different points of the night. We all had the confidence that they were going to be able to make big plays, and they did.
Go back here in the middle.
For both Jordan and Chloe, the game ended. You guys were some of the first people to go over to Kenzie. What'd you guys tell her?
Yeah, I think as a freshman, that's a hard position, but I think the confidence that she has to know that we went to a freshman at the end of the game, right, to hit that shot, and we trust her with everything we have in us. We've done that a million times in practice and everything. And, I'm so proud of her. I told her she got us to overtime, right? She hit those 2 free throws. She knocked them down. She was confident. And lucky for Kenzie, she's going to have many more years to hit that shot down. And tomorrow, the next shot, that was going down. So I trust her in everything she has.
Jordan?
Yeah, similar to what Chloe said, we wouldn't have been in overtime if she wouldn't have knocked down those 2 free throws. So, I think it's just huge for her to be able to be in that moment, like Chloe said, understanding that her whole team, her coaching staff, everyone on Marquette has that confidence in her to knock down that shot. She's a great shooter. She's hit it multiple times, so just a bad roll on the rim there.
Go back to the middle.
So you guys forced 15 turnovers today. How did you feel about your defensive effort and pressuring them?
Jordan, you want to go first?
Yeah. I think, honestly, our defense is what got us to this point here. You've seen it throughout the season. And I think that today, the way that we showed up and we were able to defend, their top scorers at times, blow up their actions, I think that was really huge for us and what was able to keep us in the game at times when we weren't able to knock down the open shot. So just really proud of our effort. There's a million different screens that we had to run through, and you got a big 6'4" player in the post. So just really proud of the effort that our defense had today.
Claire?
Yeah, I think Coach mentioned that they only had 4 assists, so that's obviously a great stat for us. So defensively, we really locked in on that, and similar to what Jordan said, we were, outside hip all the screens and duck-ins and stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, so when in fourth quarter overtime is getting down to it, it's absolute chaos. How do you two manage to keep your composure?
I think understanding that we've been in that position before, obviously through our years of playing, but even, games this season, we've been in that position with this team multiple times, is just continuing to keep your composure. And something I always tell the team is, like, we got to this moment because of, our execution. And I think that was the biggest thing of, just being able to continue to execute down the stretch, whether that was defense, offense, and having confidence in one another.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players look to us, too, for that composure, so we have to make sure we understand that, and because of our experience, we got to set the tone in that way. And so when it's coming down the stretch, who's talking in the huddle is probably the upperclassmen, and they're going to have to tell people to take a deep breath, settle down, we got this, be confident in everything you do, and so we had to do that today.
Anything else for the student athletes? No? Okay, y'all can go if you like.
Okay, thank you, Jess.
We'll take questions now for Coach Duffy. Go here in the middle first, then Pete.
Coach, just what was your message to the team as soon as you walked back into the locker room today?
Yeah, it's the hardest day of the year. I just kind of what Chloe and Jordan both said. I just told them how I wasn't going to have a magical speech at the end, just mostly how proud I was of them, their fight, their heart. I thought we played some great basketball at times today. Even when we got down, what we did to send it into overtime and, foul and get a couple jump balls and our pressure, thought was really good. And, I don't think you can ask for anything more than Jordan had the ball down the stretch and, totally trust her to make that decision. She made a great pass over to Kenzie. But I thought we blew up a lot of their stuff today. And they were forced to kind of go to some counters and, just made a few mistakes in that fourth quarter. But very, very proud of what we did today.
Pete?
Megan, it seemed like you held Elena and, their big center down much of the game. What did you see in that fourth quarter? Was it just a case of two really good players, showing that they are really good players and making plays?
Yeah, I thought Dulcie, we did a really good job of getting her a couple fouls and got her out of the game a little bit more. And we had bodies around her and then just had a bad stretch where we didn't have enough bodies around her and she got going and a little more confident. And then we started bringing, rotation towards her a little bit more. And some of it was just 6'5" on our 6'1". They kind of got worn down a little bit. We got a couple fouls. And then I thought Rose Nakuma did an amazing job on Chineka for most of the game. And then she hit, two big baskets downhill, going to her left hand, kind of falling away. And then, she set an up screen, diagonal screen for Dulcie to get to the block. Rose is caught in the 6'5" mess and then was a little bit late getting out. And Chineka, who didn't shoot it great all game, hits it and steps up. So that's why she's a phenomenal player. So just little things like that, a half a second too late on a couple things cost us.
Yes, we've talked about it all season long. Chloe had 25 points, 7 rebounds today. How much did she mean for the team in this game emotionally, and then how does she mean for Marquette as a whole?
Yeah, I was just in the locker room. COVID for a couple years was just so hard in a lot of ways, but the blessing was, Chloe Murata got to come back for a 5th year and an extra year. And, she's been a role player for 4 years. And so the fact that she said, I want to be part of that go-to player package with Jordan and what she did to, change her game and her mentality and her maturity to show up every day. I'm so happy for her. She's everything good in college athletics and women's basketball. And she loves Marquette. She loves her teammates. She loves her coaching staff. And we would be nowhere without her this season.
Right.
Coach, this season in particular has had some really big highs and some lows. What do you make of, the campaign from November to today overall?
Yeah, I have to reflect, but it's been, the positive person in me, it's been, an awesome year because we're in the dance and we earned every piece of it. We had some lows, we had some injuries, it's told throughout the whole country. People have stuff all through the year, right? We just kept fighting and battling, and you know, all the way from our first game through the Bahamas, you know, a couple tough losses. You get a historic win against UConn in February. You know, the positive Pollyanna in me will say there's been some amazing moments, and that's why it's so hard when you watch our women in that locker room just devastated and upset. But I just I can't say enough about my team and the effort they put out against a really good South Florida team.
Anything else for Coach Duffy? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.